Good evening, everyone. Eric Brown, MOBO-Media, MOBO-Media. Hey, coming at you once again with another gem. I thought I'd drop some of my perspectives on things to you. So, what I want to talk about today is lack of privacy. There's a lack of privacy today, and as you can imagine, after 9/11, there certainly was an opening up of folks' privacy by the government because of the what they deemed a necessity because of the terrorist threats, new types of terrorist threats. But besides all that, there's just been an amazingly lack of attention to people's privacy here in particularly the last couple of years, man. Last couple of years. I mean, it's so commonplace now to get an alert saying that some of your private information may have been compromised. I remember, man, years ago, Target had a big issue where someone got into their system and stole a lot of people's data. But that is so commonplace nowadays, man. It's almost like the best you could do is just you got to figure out, what aspect of your life do you pay the closest attention to in terms of protecting it from a privacy perspective. Because everything is not going to be able to be protected, but you got to just ask yourself the question: what about you do you really want to protect from the general public or from people who have ill intents with it? So, privacy has also been coming up lately. I know a lot of people have been getting a lot of scam calls. The number of robocalls and scam calls has increased so much over seems like the last 2-3 years. I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't know where these people are getting their numbers from. Well, obviously the numbers are public, but they'll call and you'll block them. They'll call back, you'll block them, block them, and you find yourself doing this quite a bit. And I mean, I think it's illegal. I think once you tell them to stop, they're supposed to stop, but that's not stopping these folks. I guess everybody has a hustle today. The economy is not doing so great. People are nervous, and so. Well, for the past few years, the economy has been kind of unstable, particularly after COVID. So I guess the hustle has increased out there. People are finding newer and crazier ways to, steal money and take money. But it's crazy. That's the world we live in. But there are some things that you can control in terms of your life and the protection of your privacy. One thing, I'll be honest with you, I'm a very private person. I don't like a lot of cameras around me. I don't like anybody videoing me without my permission. If I'm out in the public, you video on me, that's fine, that's your right. But when private, in a private setting, you're videoing me, that's not cool. Not cool at all. It's actually damn immature because you're not respecting people's privacy or their, or the fact that they may have certain perspectives on their privacy. You're not even respecting that. Everything ain't to be photographed and damn videoed, man. My goodness, sometimes it's almost like people forget that they have a brain, and the brain is an actual recorder. So, one thing I do when I travel, even when I travel around the world, I travel different places, vacation, things like that, you won't find me taking a whole bunch of pictures. I'll take pictures, don't get me wrong. It's great to keep those memories. But my thing is, if you're taking all these pictures, then there's no way you can be enjoying the beauty of where you're at with your eyes, because you got the damn camera in your face all the time. It's okay. Let's say you go somewhere, right? You take a whole bunch of pictures on vacation somewhere, right? And then you come back and you start showing all these pictures to folks. Imagine if a person asks you, how was it? How did you enjoy it? I guarantee you some people will stutter because half the time they were trying to video and record everything instead of actually taking it in and enjoying it. That's what it's all about. Like I say, everything ain't meant to be put on film, everything ain't meant to be put on camera. I despise folks that do that because I think it's nowadays it's so important to protect, your privacy, your image. I mean, even my image, man, I'm very protective of it. I work with some folks in high levels, and I work with people who like to have their privacy protected. And so, by nature of that, I have to walk a certain way, in a way that kind of staying below the radar. It's not that I'm afraid of the public. I just know, the depths that the public would go to try to mar you and drag your name through the mud. I mean, now they can even take your your image and make a video out of it that looks like you. There's one big thing in Hollywood that's been going on because there's newer technology and AI. Hollywood has come up with a way to incorporate this into their business model, and so at the end of the day, actors, when they sign contracts, they're signing over their images. So some of these movie companies don't even need the actors to do or actresses to do movies. They just use the images and use AI to create something that looks like them. It's just the craziest thing. I'm very protective of my privacy, rightfully so. I own it. If to each his own. If other folks are, it's okay for them to freaking put everything out in the wind. Do you? But just leave me out of it. You know what I'm saying? Protect me and mine. I just don't get down like that, man. I never have. Hell, I've spent 22 years in the military, and so 22 years of having to stay tight-lipped because of top secret, intelligence and all type of stuff like that. After leaving the military, I had to work state government where, I worked for one politician where you had to stay low-key and watch what you say and watch what you did. Then I worked for another politician with a huge name. And it became even more so where I had to be very careful about how I was portraying myself, who I was hanging around, and the stuff that I was putting out to the public. Because if you give it to them, they will have it. They will have it. Like I said, to each his own. To each his own. Everybody doesn't even understand the concept of privacy. Some people for some folks, it's personality driven. Some folks are just social butterflies, and I get that. I don't knock them. But my thing is respect the fact that everybody's not a social butterfly. Everybody's not a social butterfly. Hell, in a society today, I don't see how somebody could be a social butterfly. It's so risky today, but the people you come across, run across. But privacy is very important. Like I said, that's one of the worst things you could do to me is just film me or something, or take these crazy ass photos and I don't even know you're doing it, because I don't know where that stuff is going to end up at. And I have a right to own my image and own my likeness. I have a right to protest when anyone tries to take my images and potentially use them in ways that I don't agree with. So, and I encourage everybody else to do the same, man. You got to start protecting you. It's not just protecting like your phone number. Before it was just protecting your phone number and your social security number. Now it's protecting your face and your voice and your eyes, because you got biometrics, you got all types of technology out there that can basically create a fingerprint of you and then do anything they want to do with it. They can leave that fingerprint anywhere in the world, man, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. They could take DNA from me without even knowing it, place it somewhere else, and hell, they place me at a scene. But the technology is deep right now, privacy. Me and my brother-in-law was talking the other day, or last night we were actually talking about an interesting subject that I have been kind of looking at. And it's related to privacy, and it's actually related to DNA, so that is private. So I don't know if folks know it, but there is technology now where, let's say if you're standing in a room, you're standing in the middle of a room, right? You're standing there maybe about 15 minutes talking to somebody, and you leave that space in the room. They have the technology now to actually go right where you are and be able to pull DNA from the air, man. I'm not surprised they're able to do that, but man, the investigative techniques they're using now is incredible, because you gotta think about this. So let's say the human body, right? You got skin. Everybody has skin, and naturally the skin is gonna shed. It's gonna shed. From the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, you have shedding skin. Flaking skin or whatever. Some of it is microscopic, some of it you can see. So you kind of walk around with kind of an ash cloud or kind of a micro dust cloud around you. If you're someone that doesn't use a whole lot of damn lotion and all these toxins. So when you're shedding skin, that stuff has to go somewhere. It has to go somewhere. And it's not necessarily falling to the ground. It's so light and microscopic, it's kind of just lingering in the air. Like, I remember an old, what was it? The Peanuts cartoon, Snoop and all that. The Peanuts, when there was one of the kids, he was I don't know what was up with the kid. He would walk around and had his cloud walking around, following him all the time. I think he was a dirty kid or something like that. I think it indicated that just a little dirt, whatever. But realistically, that dirt can turn into DNA, man. And they have the technology to do it. Google it, research it. It came out probably a year ago when I first found out about it. And I started thinking, I said, well, it makes sense. You shedding skin, it's got to go somewhere. And they're able to, come up with some device to pull those skin molecules out of the air and trace it right back to you. So the technology is there. So, I would encourage y'all to, or anybody to, protect your privacy, man. Protect your privacy, because, as crazy as it sounds, I'm not saying people have ill intent to do anything with your privacy, but sometimes people have the greatest heart, the greatest intent, and don't realize that they're pulling your personal data, basically what they're doing. And you don't know what's going to happen with that data. You have no idea what's happening with that data. And by data, I mean images, pictures, videos, your data. So you should own your data, or have a right to. So, and if anybody takes offense to it, then they have an issue with privacy, and that's on them. With that, this is Eric Brown, MOBO-Media. Hey, once again, please subscribe. Hope this was another interesting topic, privacy. Please protect your privacy, because if you don't, someone will have it. If you give it to them, they will have it. With that, y'all take care. Eric Brown, MOBO-Media. Bye-bye.